Welcome back to Nadlan Capital Group podcast, the only place where mortgages meet real talk and we laugh through the pain of underwriting delays. I'm your host, Leo Lustig, and today we are diving into a juicy case study, loan number 1367. And trust me, it's got everything. It's like a Netflix series: appraisals, delays, lender drama, and real wins. But before we jump into Elad's refinance adventure, let's check in on what's happening in this market this week. So let's look at today's mortgage and financial market update. So as for mortgage rates, today national average for 30 years fixed mortgage is 6.76% unchanged from last week, while 15 years fixed is down slightly to 5.89. And let's look at what happened with Trump tariffs. President Trump announced a UK trade deal that lowers tariffs, and the markets go crazy. Bitcoin, alts, the stock market, and the expected meeting in Switzerland with the Chinese negotiators. So Trump also hinted the reducing of the current 145 tariffs on Chinese goods to about 80%. Just before the negotiation. As for the economy, jobless claims fell unexpectedly, signaling labor market strength, but quarter one productivity declined, a potential red flag. And as for the stock market, so the Dow is up 250 points, driven by optimism around trade talks. And with Bitcoin is officially back over $100,000, trading today at 102,000, up on a trade and inflation optimism. All right. So first of all, if you guys doesn't know who we are, so let's give you some brief on what we do. First of all, we are one of the largest mortgage brokers in the US. We are doing an auction for you guys between more than 3,000 lenders all over the US to get you the best possible investment financing to buy real estate in the US. It doesn't matter if you're a foreign national or an American. Click and subscribe our channel. You're going to get updates daily about mortgages, about real estate, and of course, everything that got to do with stocks, crypto. So let's see what's going on today. We see minor decline, trade deals that could come Wall Street. This is for Morningstar. Market Watch, we can see the Dow correcting a bit today, Nasdaq correcting just a bit, staying quite flat. The VIX is up just a bit. We have a new pope, an American one, raised in Chicago. And Trump floats cutting China tariff to 80% ahead of the trade official talks. And let's see what's going on with the mortgage rate: 6.76% for 30 years and 5.89 for 15 years. The USDs, most of our loans that we do for investments are based on the 5 years treasury. We can see it went down a bit today. First, Chinese freight ship goods hit with Trump's 145 plus tariffs. We need to understand that a ship takes like a month or two to arrive, and now the tariffs are basically might cause the shelves to be empty in the US. So there's a lot of pressure. We welcome you to join our community on Facebook. And again, we can see as for the treasuries, the 2 years, the 5 years, all of them are going down today, which is great for us as mortgage brokers. And for US clients, again, 30 years fixed, 6.91, 15 years fixed, 6.22. And let's see some updates from today. First of all, the Fed. And all right. So basically, the Fed doesn't look to get any rates down yet because basically it's saying that the economy is strong enough. Let's look at the renters are staying put due to concern over economy. So this is basically great for us real estate investors, the one that are holding the properties. So renters are not moving out that fast because of the economy, because it's too expensive to buy a property, lack of rental supply on the coast, economic uncertainty, and the consumer momentum is still moving forward. So basically, what we're getting, let's say with UK, basically a 10% increase in prices. Depends who is going to observe that cost. If it's going to be the importer company, the exporter, or the consumer. So consumers still spending, they're spending less. The wholesale inventory growth slightly less than expected, and consumer spending up in April. All right. Okay. So today, lots of Fed speakers, but the focus is on China. Everyone now looking on the China deal. Once we're going to have a deal with China, we can expect the markets to really ramp up. Trump just said, like I always say, that I'm not a financial consultant. Trump just running the stocks is telling everyone, go buy stocks. So, I guess you don't need to be a financial advisor anymore. As for the economic calendar, As for today, we have the Fed Williams speech, Barr, Kagler, speeches of all of the Fed chairs. Let's look at the fear and greed. So we are still in greed. All right. We all know everyone that bought in the extreme fear did a lot of money. Market momentum, extreme fear. And now we are moving basically to greed. All right, let's look at the recent development. All right, so basically lots of speeches, and we got the update of no rate change. We already saw the chances, the probabilities of the next Fed meeting, 82% that rates are going to stay the same, and that's in 40 days. And before we're going to jump into the topics of today, the case study, we welcome you to join our Nadlan community, get daily updates about mortgages, about stocks, about Bitcoin, about all of the 50 states. You're getting updates daily about the market trends, the real estate market trends. You can see all of the updates that we are uploading daily, interest rates, case studies. So this is the case study that we are going to look into today, loan 1367. Why reusing appraisals can actually slow down instead of speeding up the process, and standard DSCR closing timeline explained. How long does it take to close? You can also see this article on our social network, and you can join and see the timeline on our social network. We're getting updates daily. You can join our courses. We're #1 school for wholesaling, multifamily, fix and flip, daily real estate news and economic news. Almost 300 discussion groups and growing, with experts, groups for every state. You can see that as for members, we are reaching almost 23,000 members overall. You can follow, you can join them, you can invite them to your groups. And of course, we are having daily updates about Bitcoin, crypto, stocks, trade recommendations. Of course, we are not financial advisors, but I can tell you that our borrowers since April 6th that we called on buying down the dip, we have investors that doubled up their portfolio. So we are going to go deep into that. We have about 200 experts on the site. You're more than welcome to join our conventions in New York and Miami, our courses, the wholesaling course, and of course, we have a website with off-market deals, Nadlan deals going up on our platform every day, so you can find the best possible deals, real estate deals in the US. And we also build in Florida and Texas houses for less than $250,000 for investors. All right. So, first of all, let's jump into the updates of today. DSCR loan timeline. Let's understand what is the timeline for a DSCR loan and what is the appraisal trap. So basically, a detailed case study of loan 1367, Elad's Indiana refinance deal. We are going to learn how reusing an appraisal can backfire. So basically, these borrowers came to us with 4 different appraisals that they already did. What we need to understand with current appraisals, when you are using an appraisal that was already done on properties, the previous lender needs to approve releasing them, and that can take a while. And then the new lender also needs to approve them. So it's not always beneficial. It might save some money, but it might take even longer than doing brand new appraisals. Um, so also, like, look at the timeline. They came to us and they expected to close a refinance of 4 properties with a traditional DSCR lender in 3 weeks. We had a call with the lender, the chosen lender. We did an appraisal. We got him a great rate, and then we went on a call with the appraisal, with the lender, and we try to understand the timeline. Okay, so let's look at the appraisal trap. All right, so what is the mistake? Reusing an old appraisal to speed up refinance process. The reality, it can cause major delays instead of saving time. So what is the lesson? Starting fresh can be faster than transferring old appraisals in many incidents. Okay. So what are the key topics that we are covering today? DSCR refinance timelines, complete breakdown of the refinance process from start to finish, appraisal transfer risk, hidden dangers when reusing property valuations, market updates. We're going to look at the latest of mortgage rates, stocks, crypto, and we are going to give you some recommendations of trades for national consideration, special tips for international investors in the US real estate market. So again, we want to introduce to you that this is, whoever doesn't know, the Nadlan Capital Group podcast. I'm your host. Lior Lustig brings expertise since 2010 in closing mortgages. We are located here in New York, and we're trying to make it in a great way and fun. And again, today's focus is loan 1367, features appraisals, delays, lender drama, and real wins. All right. So again, current market update, 6.76 for 30 years fixed, 5.89 for 15 years fixed. And Bitcoin price just reached $102,000, and the Dow going up for 250 points. All right, so let's look at the case study. All right, so first of all, the property, multifamily investment in Indiana. The goal, cash out refinance using DSCR loan. The strategy, reuse existing appraisals to save time. The results, 2 to 3 weeks delay due to appraisal transfer issues. All right, so week 1, receive term sheet and submit documents. Okay, so this is the typical timeline for DSCR loans. Week number 2, we order the appraisals, insurance, and entity docs. Week number 3 and 4, the appraisal and title reports completed. It takes about 4 to 5 days to get the appraisal after it was done. To do it initially, the borrower needs to provide the point of contact, the property manager and the title company, to schedule the appraisal. They need to pay for the appraisal. AMC needs to choose the appraisal, the National Organization of Appraisers, to make sure it's random. So the week number 5, underwriting plus conditions cleared, and week 6, clear to close. All right, so doing all of this in 3 weeks with a traditional, not hard money lender, with a good rate, in the 5s, in the 6, is going to take some time. All right, we still need to remember it's a mortgage. So foreign national investor tips: appraisal strategy, ensure appraisal is transferable or order fresh early. Documentation, prepare entity docs, CPA letters, and reserves in advance. We already spoke about case studies about the importance of reserves. Broker partnership, work with brokers having access to 3,000 lenders options just like us, so you can get the best possible rate. You don't need to waste time. Do it yourself, and we have special pricing with them. And banking requirements. Many lenders require US bank statements, not just home country. All right, so what are the key takeaways? All right, first of all, strategic planning. Follow the proven DSCR timeline for faster closing. Appraisal caution. Don't reuse appraisals without lender approval. and foreign national success win in the US real estate with the right partners. All right, so what kind of resources and the next steps? Read the full case study on our website, explore lender options. We are here to help you and stay updated. And let's look at what stocks and crypto and economics done today. You can read all of these updates daily on our social network on Forum Nadlan USA. You have the link right below. So let's look at the market insights, stocks, crypto, economic updates. Stay ahead with the latest market trends, investment opportunities, and expert analysis. Our comprehensive updates cover Wall Street movement, cryptocurrency, fluctuations, and economic indicators. All right. So, Wall Street positive momentum, trade agreement impact. Trump's UK trade deal spurred market gains with Dow Jones up 0.5%, S&P 500 rising 0.6%, and Nasdaq strengthening 0.9%. Banking sector strength. Goldman Sachs rose 1.7%, while Citigroup and Morgan Stanley strengthened by 1.5%. AMD had basically they are keeping 26% of growth for this year, even in the second quarter, climbed 3.4%, and Intel strengthened 2.8%, and Nvidia climbed 0.8%. So the chip stocks rally. All right, let's look at the Israeli market performance. Record-breaking day. Tel Aviv 35 index rose by 1% and recorded a new record of 2,646 points. Notable performance, Teva jumped by 18.5% this week. Weekly summary, TA35 rose by 4.7%. All right, so let's look at the Trump's market influence, presidential endorsement. It's worth going out and buying stocks now. So Trump basically tells everyone, go and buy stocks. Like apparently you don't need to be a financial advisor to tell everyone, go buy stocks. The market response, Dow Jones and S&P 500 climbed, and we saw a huge increase in the altcoins and in Bitcoin. Historical pattern, previous Trump endorsement on April 9 led to Nasdaq jumping 12% after tariff freeze announcement. All right, commodity impact, gold erased 2.2%, while oil strengthened after Trump-China trade mentioning. So who are the top gainers showed impressive earning and guidance? Let's take a look. We have SEZL climbed 33%, NVOX 30%, Dave 26%, LZ 17%, App at 13%, and DNUT went down 24%. So let's look at some key stock analysis. Nvidia forming a flag pattern on the daily chart, resistant at $180. Trade idea, Nvidia 120 calls for 5 out of 6 if above 117. Coin earning after the bell, inverse head and shoulder pattern, resistant at 207. You get a trade idea in our community. Again, this is not a financial advice. I'm just a person on YouTube. You don't need to do what is being advised, but you can follow us. We will be happy to do that. And again, we saw many investors that got tremendous success in the last 2 months. Shop, lower post-ending, uptrend breaks on the daily, resistant at $88. All right, breaking crypto news, 2.9 billion Coinbase acquisition. Coinbase is buying Deribit, the top Bitcoin options exchange. And 100K Bitcoin milestone, BTC hitting the significant psychological barrier, reaching a 3-month high. 4.2% coin stock rise. And the market analysis insight, the SPY remained in tight range despite FOMC meeting under 5,570 opens downside. Economic data, US jobless claims at 228,000 for May, 3 weeks, slightly better than the 230K estimate. Trade development, US UK trade pact will maintain the 10% US tariff. And analyst rating, Citi maintains a buy rating on Google with $200 price, even though we heard that Apple is trying to break the contract with Google. They say that less people are using the traditional search. All right. So let's jump into the case study. You can read all about it in the Nadlan Capital Group channel on our network. All right. So, as mentioned, we are happy to partner with you guys. If you are mortgage brokers, if you are real estate brokers, CPAs, attorneys, we have an amazing compensation system. It's fully transparent. You can join in 5 minutes. You can click here, register as a mortgage broker with us. You don't need to have a license. And basically, every client that you're going to refer to us is going to be under your name. You're going to get a white label script that you can place on your website. They are not even going to know about us. And you're going to get up to 33% of what we are getting. Whatever we're getting, you're going to get up to 33%. It shows here the calculation. You're going to get access to the file of your client. You won't be able to see the documents, of course, but you will see, you can refresh 24/7 and see where you are with the loan. So, just a fast recap of what we mentioned. All right. So, we spoke about Elad, one of our smart investor clients. He owns a multifamily property in Indiana and wanted to refinance it for cash out using a DSCR loan. So, what was the twist? He tried to reuse an appraisal from another lender, thinking it would speed things up. And what actually happened? It backfired. The appraisal transfer process caused delays, required extra sign offs, and ended up pushing closing back 2-3 weeks. The new lenders wasn't fully aligned with the previous appraisal scope and had to review it. So, what are the takeaways? If you are using a DSCR lender, reusing an appraisal can be riskier than starting fresh, especially if the appraisal is over 90 days old. So, what is the timeline that we saw of a typical DSCR refinance? So, here's what the clean, efficient DSCR loan timeline looks like. So, first week, receive the terms sheet and submit the documents. Second week, order the appraisal, insurance entity docs. Week 3 and 4, appraisal and title report completed. Week 5, underwriting plus condition cleared. Week 6, clear to close. Week 7, 8, loans funded. So when you reuse an appraisal or switch lenders midstream, this timeline stretches real fast. So if your DSCR deal cash flows now, close now. So what are the special tips for foreign nationals and investors that we can tell you? All right, just to close this podcast episode, make sure your appraisal is transferable. Check it with the previous lender. Okay, we had clients that the previous lender didn't want to transfer, or the appraiser didn't approve the transfer, or the new lender didn't approve the transfer. Okay, sometimes it's easier to order a fresh one. Ensure entity docs, CPA letters, and reserves are ready. Don't assume all lenders treat foreign nationals equally. Many require bank statements from US banks, not just from your home country. Work with a broker. Hello. That has access to 3,000 plus lenders. Don't, don't underestimate the kind of rates that we can get. As I mentioned, the lowest rate that we could get to a foreign national with no taxes, no credit, no income in the US was 5.61. We recently closed 6.01. So it really depends on the location of the property, the condition, the year of the property, the business plan that we're working with you to build, the resume that we're working with you to build, the size of the loan, the DSCR ratio of the loan, the liquidity that you have, the experience that you have. All of this basically builds the kind of rate that you can get. And if you do have credit, if you have high credit, you're going to get higher loan to value, better rates. If you have bad credit, it's actually better to be a foreign national with no credit than having something below 680. But we have lenders that the minimum is even 620. So what is the conclusion? So today we learned, don't shortcut the process with all the appraisals unless the new lender is 100% on board, or if you had such an amazing appraisal that you don't want to do it again. DSCR loans have a rhythm. If you follow it, you close faster. All right. Guess what? Like if you need to upload the LLC document, operating agreement. So instead of tomorrow you're going to upload it in a week. Everything is being postponed in a week. And foreign nationals can win in US real estate, but only with the right partners. So we are here to partner with you. You have in the description of the post the full case study link on our social network. You can join our social network for the full year and do unlimited auctions with us for a great price, great value. If you are ready to close, go to nadlancapitalgroup.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This helps us create more such content for you guys. I am Leo Lustig. Thank you for joining us, and we're going to see you in the next update.